And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Oh yeah, we got so much news. We got some articles to go over today. There's so much crypto adoption. This is such a good time to get into crypto. You're seeing Mark O'Sullivan. How can I join the $500 club? First thing, he's got to join YouTube. You have to have a membership with YouTube. Once you do that, you got to have a username and password and shit like that. If you look, then when you look at your chat box, like I'm looking at mine right here, you'll see what looks like a money symbol, like a dollar bill. I'm looking at a happy face, a dollar bill, and then like a plus sign with a circle around it. If you're not a YouTube, if you don't have a membership with YouTube, you won't see these things. You won't see the money symbol right there. So once you donate $500, then contact me on my social media that I have at CryptoHulk19 on, let me get it exactly right. On X, if you go to X, it'll be at CryptoHulk19. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay. So it's going to be the at symbol. Let me do this here. Okay, just like that. The at symbol, a capital C for crypto, a capital H for Hulk, 19, all one word. There you have it. So yeah, already this week, if we start yesterday as the week, I'm already up $700. The day before, so here's the deal. Somebody was like, well, I'm just going to invest in one of the cryptos and it'll be 500, it'll go up. And look, everything's down. One of the reasons why some people join the $500 club, there's a couple reasons, but one of them is we go over cryptos that I'm not talking about on the show. So the other day, I gave out a signal for everybody. I said, hey, everybody, here's blankety blank crypto. It just happened to be down 50% when we bought it. And then the next day it's up in the green 20%. So that's 70% increase. And I was telling everybody, you got to throw at least 500 to 1,000, and right around in there is a good number. And then I just picked up $700, sold it off. There you go. If you put in 200 or $300, you'll make your 70%. So $200, what is that? $70 or something you'll make, or whatever it is. Look, if you want to start making real money, then these little trades that we have, the $200 to $400 shit won't work anymore. It's got to be more like 500 to 1,000. And what you have to do is you could start off with small amounts. So here's what I tell people what I did. Because my name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Nothing. I don't know anything about financial advising. I don't know about anything about making money. I don't know anything about crypto. I'm high 24/7. I'm high off cocaine, heroin, hashish, peyote, LSD. I take all kinds of drugs, mix them all up, and wash them down with cocaine water. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's good stuff. I inject drugs. I inject drugs in every single possibility. I eat them. I keister them. Everything, anything to get high. 552 man, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Hey, if it's tax-free and it's green American dollars, then that's just what I'm talking about. Robert Madelone, thank you very much. Tax-free money is the best kind. So some people join the $500 club because, look, I threw out a little signal the other day and everybody made 70%. Ta-da. Didn't advertise that on the show, and that's for show. D. Lindquist, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's how this show stays on the air. See, what YT does is I used to get like 1 million views a month. Oh, yeah. And now YouTube chopped it down to like maybe 100,000 or 50,000 or something like that. That's just how it goes. You guys support this channel. YT is terrified of this channel. They're doing, like, at the beginning of this year, January of 2025, I was hitting 1 million views a month. And they were just like, and then they had to just destroy the channel however they could. They do all kinds of things. They don't notify you. They unsubscribe you. All these little games and stuff. So just understand that. Like, they don't do this to other channels, just mine. And if there's any other real crypto channels, they'll have the same struggle as me. But this is, I've never seen a business like this before. YT tries to call me their business partner. How's come I don't have a phone number I can call my business partner? This is the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard of. Gold price. The U.S. debt clock, according to Mr. OG, is showing gold at $9,600, silver at $1,200. Hoo-wee! Oh my God! At John North 5272. How do you keep your teeth so nice after using all those drugs? These are fake teeth. All my other teeth got destroyed from all the methamphetamine and all the poison and shit. So I had to tear out whatever little teeth I have left and put in these fake teeth. There you go. Okay, enough of the bullshit. But yeah, the $500 group. So that's what we'll do. I'll send you guys out 1-2 times a week signals. And some people choose to do whatever with those signals, and they're pulling, anywhere from 30 to 70%, a couple times a week just with that. And then I'll have stuff on the show, and they can pull another 30 to 30% there. So they're making, if you put in 1,000 and you're making 30% on 3 trades a week, that's $900 a week. That's like $3,600 a month. That's like at a lower end. Some people put in more, but I tell all the people at the $500 club, if you're not making $500 a week, you seriously need to call me, because you're doing something very wrong. You're probably putting in $200 a trade or something like that, or you pull it out too early or too late. Some people are like, I'm going to hold and try to make more, and then it dumps and you don't make anything because you held too long. So you should at least be making $500 a week. That's guaranteed. Like, I could do that with half my brain tied behind my back. All right. I need a gold grill. Charles Looney. Is she her? What's up? What's up with the name thing? Does YT want our name displayed so they know who we are? Well, YT GFY from the XRP Shaman. All right. Let us go see what we can find out about the crypto world. Japan's 3 biggest banks. I want you to see all of this right here. Let's do a copy and paste. Now, what you have to see is you're in crypto very, very early. So it's natural. Like, I've been in crypto 5.5 years. I've been waiting for this thing to fucking take off for 5.5 years. Maybe it takes another 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know. See, what you have to do is, okay, here's what I'm doing. If you want to choose to join me and copy me, great. What I'm doing is, we all know where this ends up. So what I decided to do is look for opportunities each day to make money. Look, we all know crypto's down in the past 2-3 weeks. It's down like 30% or whatever, 35. We all know it's going to go back up. That's a given. But what I do with my $500 club is we get in on deals each week to where we're making money. It's like, I'm not going to just sit here for 5.5 years and be like, listen to somebody's 13-minute YouTube program. I'm trying to walk away with this with money daily if I can, 2-3 times a week at least. That's what I do. My show is showing you all this crypto adoption is going on, yet crypto prices dump. Doesn't make sense, right? Okay, you know what? I'm like this. Fuck it. I'm going to make money. I love it when these cryptos are going up, down, and up. That's how we make money on the Crypto Hulk $500 Club. When things are just the same, I want volatility. Anytime you know about, well, when do people make money in gambling? When it's volatile. That's when you make money. Okay, not when things are calm and just you want something to do. You want to hear some bad news. Because you know what? Then you're going to have good news after that. That's what we do on the $500 Club. And that's what we're looking at here at this article here. 3 of Japan's largest banks. Now, I want you to see what's going on. I don't care. Look, when we watch Crypto Hulk show in my $500, we're going to make money each week, daily if we can, here and there. 30% here, 20% there, 50% there, 70% there. And if you're putting in $1,000, well, shit, you just made $700. And that would be like one trade this week. So I've only bet on one trade in the past 7 days. I could have made 2 trades, but I didn't. At MFG, I didn't want to take anybody's money or something like that. So I just I stayed out of that one. But shit, that was an easy $1,000 to $1,500 I was going to put into MFG one. Whew, that went up 3x. So I could have made $3,700 in the past 7 days. That's where the $500 Club comes in. We've had 2 really good trades this week. One went up 300% and the other 70. So that's 300. My last 2 trades were 370% gain. So there you have it. Congrats to the members. 3 of Japan's largest banks, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, Sumitomo, and Mizuho are joining. They're joining forces. The 3 largest banks in Japan are joining forces to issue a stable coin pegged to the Japanese yen. I want you to see this thing. Some of you with low IQ are like, this is not big news. Okay, you can leave the channel because you're gonna get booty raped and butt hurt when this bull run happens because you're not gonna know where to be. We're gonna explain all this. Japan's top banks plan a stable coin to digitize corporate settlements. Want you to see it all going down, everybody. Now the biggest banks are all coming in, and they're going to get on a crypto platform, and they're going to have a stable coin that we all can buy and sell and use. I want you to see how all this is slipping right in. See this? This is where we're on our way. Things are being set up. And what we do in my member group is we start taking advantage of shit that happens daily volatility. As this shit goes up and down, we want things going up and down drastically. That's what we want. Because on my show, that's how we're going to make serious fucking money. When things get too stable, it slows down. We want shit that's up one day and fucking bottomed out the next day. And we want to hear bad news over here and then some good news there. That's how we're making this money. The stable coin will be built on MUFG's Progmat platform, a blockchain designed for regulated financial institutions that supports Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, and Cosmos. Pilot tests are expected to start soon. Everybody, look, this MUFG and all these are all Ripple partners. This is already done. All this is done with SBI Bank and all. Ripple started in Japan. I've shown all the evidence with Cyberbank and shit from 2014. Ripple's first ATM machine was in Japan. Like, look, all this shit's already been done. We've been waiting for the governments and the banks. I don't know who's calling the shots. I really don't know what the holdup and all that shit is. I've already shown the evidence. I've shown you how this shit was already done 2013, 14, 11, 12 years ago. I'm the only channel that showed all this evidence. What are we waiting for, Crypto? If I fucking knew that, I wouldn't be sitting here having $10 shows, okay? All these shows be at least, I don't know, $500 each, all right? What we got here is the Nikkei report states that the Mitsubishi Corporation, one of Japan's largest trading houses, will be the first adopter. The largest one. Look, nobody wants to go first. But I'll tell you what, the biggest banks will never go last, okay? So it looks like here, the biggest banks, they're getting in on this. I like to see this when you have, here's what we have going on. The biggest banks in this particular country are now getting hooked up with cryptocurrency. Now, we can call it a stable coin or whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is crypto right here, okay? Crypto adoption. This is what we're seeing. Banks moving into it. It's not people like you and me. Remember, I told you what? You're not going to get rich until they're all hooked up. That makes sense. You're not getting rich before them. I've been telling you that for 5 years. You're not getting rich with your little crypto shit before all these banks are set up. Everything has to be set up. And guess what has to happen? We have to get to a point where your bank has a crypto wallet. You've got to be able to go to the grocery store. When you can go to the grocery store and buy shit with crypto, we're there. We're at a point when you can make your car payment in crypto. That's where we have to be. Crypto can't take out. You know what makes this crypto valuable? When it has real world use case. Are you using crypto in the real world? Out of everybody watching my show, what percentage of everybody's using crypto every day to buy shit? Not me. Maybe 1% of you are. That's it. 1% ain't enough to set this price off, folks. It's got to be everybody all around the world. You got to have cell phones in Africa where people are microchips in people's hands, whatever it is. You've got to have a way. And what these banks are doing right here is you have Japan's biggest banks getting into crypto. And we're going to start with these stable coins, but then people have to have wallets. So now I already showed you, no other channel has showed you, Ripple already has wallets. We went over that in my last show last night, the Ripple wallet with Ripple China. That's where that all came from. I'm literally showing you, this is the only channel where I'm literally showing you how all this stuff took place. Crypto Hulk, where did all this crypto come from? Well, since my channel has the Ripple customer list and nobody else does, what I decided to do is show you Ripple China, Ripple Dividend. All the Ripple wallet came from Ripple China. That's where they got all this. These governments are together. They make it look like they're ready to blow each other out of the water. I'm not saying they're buddy-buddy, but they're working together, okay? I've already shown the evidence. That's not an opinion. That's fact. The reason my channel is so heavily shadow banned is it's a fact channel. And the powerful people that are running YT and shit, I can't mention names. That's why I use a lot of abbreviations. But the powerful people, they don't want you to become a billionaire. They want to fuck with this channel as much as they can. They are desperate, like 80-year-old hookers in church, okay? They don't want, well, never mind that reference. 80-year-old hookers. hookers. Oh, current 80-year-old hookers, man, they've been out there for the past 60 years trying to get it. What do we got here? Cali Boy 95.95 VIP renewal education fund. Nice, very nice one. Get on that list. And then we got Carl Von Champus. Thank you very much. You are now in the club. Contact me at CryptoHulk19. And I'll verify your information. And we'll get you added to this club. Because I'm kind of like this. I'm not trying to sit here. It's almost kind of like this. If you're going to sit here for an hour watching me jabberjaw, you might as well be making fucking money on this deal. You might as well be pulling in $500 a week at a minimum. If you're going to sit here and watch this fucking show, why not make money on it? Okay. And what I'm trying to show the new people is that if you can pull, think of it like this. I was talking to a $500 member yesterday. So we need to talk a lot more because you need to be pulling in 500 at a minimum per week. Shit, I just made that the other day on one trade. I'm like, look, if you can pull a minimum of 500 a week, that's 2,000 a month. In a market like this, if you can pull $2,000 a month, and that's not even, I'm not an aggressive, I'm not putting big money into shit. But if you can pull $2,000 a week now, what happens when all this shit gets easy? I'm trying to show them how to buy and when to buy and shit like that. So when they learn the techniques that we have on this channel, then when things get really easy, you're not making 500 a week. You're making 2,000-3,000 a week. See how this works? Now is the time to learn these techniques right now. If you can pull at least 500 a week right now, when things start taking off, I'm not talking about going to the moon. When crypto stops acting all kinds of fucked up like it is right now, you're pulling 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 a month. If you can pull 2,000 a month in a shitty ass crypto space like we got right now, if you're able to pull after profits and stuff $2,000, you're gonna be making 8,000 when this thing takes off, when it gets much better. So anyhow, yes, damn, I need to go back to church. So let me look here. So that's your Japanese. That's what's going on in Japan. The biggest institutions are getting into crypto. Now here we got an article here with Fireblocks. Look, there are other custody plans. There are other companies besides Fireblocks out there on YouTube, on the internet. Don't waste your money. There's people out there, oh, you can get this custody. It's cheaper than Kalen Brown. Or no, it's not. And it's not as good. You have something called Euronet. Euronet chooses Fireblocks. Oh, shit. To support cross-border. See, that other person that has another custody solution that's not Fireblocks, they say, oh, we have this and we're insured. We're insured. Da, da, da. Is it Fireblocks? I don't want it if it's not. That's what I'd say. I want the best. I don't want some subpar crypto custody. Well, we got insurance for $1 million or $10 million. Okay, look, it's not Fireblocks, though. That's the key. How do I know that insurance company is going to be around, right? What if they go bankrupt? Look, you can go with whatever you want. I'm going where BNY Mellon, Bank of America, all these top 2,000 banks and financial institutions use Fireblocks, okay? That's what Euronet right now is doing. They chose Fireblocks to support cross-border stablecoin payments. This collaboration supports treasury optimization. Let's stop for a minute. Crypto Hulk, I've been hearing a whole lot about treasury stuff lately. What is all this? Well, in the past year, 8 months to a year, I sure am hearing a whole lot about tokenization, right? I never heard shit about tokenizing before about a year ago or less. BlackRock comes out with Biddle, and all of a sudden now everything's tokenizing. Never heard that shit before about a year ago. Now I'm starting to hear every day treasury, crypto treasuries. It's all I'm hearing now is this. I want you to see what's happening right in front of your eyes. There's an evolution transformation going on right in front of our eyes every day. I don't give a fuck about what the crypto price says. That's the biggest distraction. What I'm showing you is real world use case. The world's biggest businesses are hooking up with all kinds of crypto. They're getting their rails, as they call it, the roads, the bridges, and all that. They're hooking up. Big corporations are now putting millions of dollars into crypto, into their treasuries, because they don't necessarily trust the US dollar. Oh, interesting. Euronet, it's on the NASDAQ. If you want to buy Euronet, it's EEFT, Euronet. Euronet is a global leader in payments processing and cross-border transactions. Today announced it has chosen to leverage Fireblocks, no other crypto custody provider, Fireblocks, an enterprise platform for digital asset infrastructure, settlement, trading operations, and stablecoin payments. I'm telling you what, if you can get Euronet for a good price, I don't know what it costs, but so far it's looking good to me. They got a treasury that what we're finding now is companies that start getting crypto treasuries start growing fast. Fireblocks enables Euronet to integrate stablecoin technology into its global payment infrastructure. Oh my God, are you hearing this? Euronet is integrating stablecoin. Replace the word stablecoin with cryptocurrency. Euronet is integrating cryptocurrency into its traditional payment system. Oh shit. Now I'm seeing Crypto Hulk. It just takes one word, doesn't it? One fucking word to change the meaning of a whole sentence. Euronet is going to integrate crypto technology into its global payments infrastructure, accelerating partner settlements, reducing pre-funding needs. This is cryptocurrency. They're calling it a stablecoin so that you go to sleep, but they're getting all this set up so that when they release the real crypto, the kind that we want to make money on, because we ain't making money on a stablecoin, what they're doing is they're getting their custody set up, their treasury pools of millions and millions of dollars. They're buying the crypto. They're getting their payment rails for crypto. We're replacing the word stablecoin. They're getting their crypto payment systems all set up so you and me can be rich. I'm reading you the article right here and telling you exactly what they're doing. Okay? They're telling us in the article what they're actually doing. You and me are watching this history go down right in front of your eyes, okay? I'm showing you articles. I'm reading them. I'm not making any shit up. We're reading directly off of an article here. This is about banks, payment systems that are worth millions and billions of dollars. This whole crypto thing that you don't believe in or you don't understand, it's going to happen whether you believe it or understand it. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. That's the thing. This is going to pass you up like every other opportunity that you never made money on because you didn't take the time to watch a TV show where some guy's ranting and raving and screaming and yelling and making money 3 to 4 times a week. You don't know anything about that. By combining Fireblocks' secure crypto infrastructure with Dandelion's vast global network comprising 631 locations, 4 billion bank accounts. What? 3 billion digital wallet accounts. Oh, shit. 4 billion Visa debit cards, 200 countries. This is so massive. They're using Fireblocks. Please don't use any other solution that's not Fireblocks. I'm telling you, you're going to get your fucking cheeks clapped, okay? But Crypto Hulk, they have insurance. Oh, God, you're one of those. Well, I have a question. Why is Euronet going with Fireblocks? Why is 2,000 banks and financial institutions picking Fireblocks? Why aren't they picking that other custody platform that has the insurance? Because that's a fucked up solution. That's why. Look, you can go follow your little hot new sensation on the YouTube with the paint on white teeth and the smile and and their custody with insurance. Go follow that stupid ass fucking channel. What we do here is we follow the biggest banks in the world and we copycat the custody solutions they use. That's the Caleb Brown, okay? That's what I do here. I don't give a fuck about some guy, some person on YouTube with all the fake white teeth and shit and smiling all the time. That's so fucking stupid. You're going to get fucking wrecked with these people. Do you know why Fireblocks? I'm going to move on. So that's what's going on with this article here. It's just on and on about Fireblocks and the protection and stuff. Starting in Central Europe, this company here has been around since 1994, Euronet. It's like one of the biggest payment processors in the entire world. They're choosing Fireblocks. No other crypto custody solution. It's Fireblocks, just like Caleb Brown. If you look right below my channel, you'll see a link for Caleb Brown. Okay, they're not using that other YouTuber's custody. Okay, they're not using that one. There's a reason. Because real banks don't use fake custody solutions that they have on these other channels. Okay, I'm just letting you know. All right, let's click out of that one. Cheeny Lee, part 2, topping it up to $500. Appreciate your amazing work. Hooey, I heard that. So again, if you join a $500 club, you need to be calling me. If you're not making at least $500 a week, you need to be calling me 2 to 3 times a week. We need to be working on shit. And I'll be like, try this, do that. I mean, don't wait. What some people will do is wait like a whole month, not make a fucking dime, and just lose money, actually. And they call me and they're like, hey, things didn't work out this month. And I'll be like, well, for you, but it worked out for everybody else except you, because you weren't calling me. You were doing, if you're doing the same things and not getting a different result, there's your sign. You need to call up Crypto Hulk, okay? Because let's get at this right away. And why waste time? There's no reason to waste time. We start identifying investing opportunities, and you can choose to take them or not, and you can choose to make money or not. I mean, all it's up to you. Next article, what do we got here? Seals Q. Here we go again. See, I'm telling you, they're always in the news. That's how you know this company here. This is an actual company called Seals Q. And it's out of Switzerland and the United States. And they got WiseSat, WiseKey, Seals Q. It's all like the same company. They're just like affiliates or intermediate. Yeah, I don't know the exact business term, but they're all related. Seals Q is utilizing HBAR, the software, to put inside their new chip, the hardware. So Seals Q is linked into HBAR, which is a Ripple partner, and Ripple, of course, is partners with Algorand and Chainlink and stuff. So we tend to, if I see a Seals Q article, I'm going over it. Some of you have invested in Seals Q. And I'll make this one really brief. This article came out 2 days ago, right around there. Seals Q announces the development of QASIC, QASIC, the quantum resistant ASIC, ASIC. What we got here is Seals Q bought this other company. It's called IC apostrophe Alps. Seals Q, a global leader in semiconductors and post-quantum cryptography, today announced it integrated its strategy with IC Alps, the French ASIC design. Now, I want you to know something. France is coming up. Who owns the XRP Ledger Foundation? France. Just putting that out there. Ripple's first bank, Fedor Bank, came out of Germany. 2 years later, who bought it? The French government. Okay, just showing you, just saying. I think one of the top 5 families of the world that's running things is a French family. That's just my humble opinion, because I'm sure they sure got control of that XRP Ledger Foundation, huh? The French. Vive la France. Somebody in France is very, very rich. Crypto Hulk, that's actually a German accent, not French. Estúpido. And that's Spanish. A global leader in semiconductors. Crypto Hulk's cracking himself up. That's how you know he's getting old. You ever seen old people like talking to themselves and arguing and shit? Now calm down. I've been telling. Stop it. There's like nobody sitting next to him. They're just like talking to. A global leader in semiconductors and post-quantum cryptography announced its integrating strategy for IC Alps, the French ASIC design house, recently acquired by Seals Q. So Seals Q buys a French company. This strategic integration positions Seals Q as the only company capable. Seals Q is the only company capable of delivering secure hardware in all forms. I started telling you guys about Seals Q when it was under $2. I think it was like in the $1.80. How much is Seals Q right now, Mr. OG? Let me take a look. He's got these prices. It keeps popping up all the time. Seals Q, Mr. OG says $6.70. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. Now, let me tell you something. In the world of investing, if you're making 15% on your money consistently every year, that's good. Not saying it's great, but it's good. With Crypto Hulk Show, if you just pick out cryptos that we talk about here, this one's up 300% in about 10 months. Oh, shit. If you're like a millionaire guy or something, whatever, if not, and you put in, $50,000 into Seals Q, you would now have $150,000. And we made that in 10 months or less on the show. I think somewhere around January, we started talking about Seals Q. I can't remember. And it was like $1.80 or maybe even less. I can't remember. But we're already up over 300% on that. Maybe 350% gain. And in the real world, I'll tell you what, my services will be very high. I got a couple guys that are millionaires that watch the show. One of them is like, one of them told me, March is when you brought it out. Okay. And it's climbing again. But yeah, I had this one guy that's millionaire and shit. He's like, you know what? You're better than any financial advisor I've ever had. And he said, I never lost money with you. I'm like, whoa. And he's like, yeah. And he's had these other financial advisor people where he lost lots of money. But not a Crypto Hulk. He's just like, he doesn't understand how somebody who was not a financial advisor like me and everything just comes up with these cryptos and he's just making hundreds of % gains. He's just shocked. Like, he's like, what is your secret? I'm like, I just look for, I investigate. I'm like, look, I know I have a limited area of knowledge. That's what I have. I'm limited. I don't have unlimited area of knowledge. I'm limited to certain things. And somebody, Michael Ward, is like, we got into Seals Q at $1.76 in March. So I guess we got into it at $1.76. Now it's at almost $7. And it'll go, this Seals Q will go to like 500 or $1,000 easy, like in the next year. That's what I believe. Once we have a black swan, and then it's proven that everybody who had the Seals Q didn't get hacked. Do you know how much that stock's going to be worth? I'm just letting you know now. We started talking about this shit at $1.76. Now we're up almost to $7. So far, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? And you're like, fuck, this Crypto Hulk guy's been right. Now, let's look at real world use case. Seals Q has designed, already done quantum proof microchips. We will have a black swan. That's a given. Everybody knows that shit. Bitcoin. Our next article we're going to go over here in about 1 minute is how they believe Bitcoin has already been lightweight attacked by a quantum computer. So that's what, now what happens when things all get hacked and stock market comes down, but everybody that had the Seals Q microchips, ain't nothing happened to them. I'm telling you, that stock, you might see it at $2,000-$3,000. So I'm going to leave this article where it's at. Well, what I just wanted to show you for those that don't know is read through these Seals Q articles and see if this is a company that you want to buy into. What I'm seeing here, it's the first one in the world. They got government defense contracts. They've got government in general. Our government right now is already hooking up with Seals Q technology. Do you understand that? The United States Defense, and I can't say department, and the general United States government is already buying these microchips to prevent a quantum attack. This stock here, I'm showing you when it's in a baby. It's in its infancy. And when this thing takes off, you'll be like, shit, Crypto Hulk. Man, thanks for talking about, I bought those things at $1.60, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. Now this shit's worth $1,000 a piece. You'll see. Fact-based channel. Next, Bitcoin. Ta-da. What if quantum computers already broke Bitcoin? Oh, shit. Here we go. Crypto Hulk, why'd you wait till like near the end of the show to talk about this one? Oh, just fucking with you. All right. Let us take a looky-loo at this article here. What if quantum computers already broke Bitcoin? Uh-oh. If a quantum computer capable of breaking modern encryption were to come online today, Bitcoin would likely be under attack and no one would know. Uh-oh. Everything would look like legitimate access, said David Caravallo, CEO of post-quantum infrastructure company called Naoris Protocol. Now, this was on Cointelegraph, this article. I'm reading it on TradingView. Cointelegraph, he said, when you think you're seeing a quantum computer out there, it's already been in control for months. Uh-oh. You wouldn't even know, he said. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Seal HTS 3.19 meow. Let's take a look here. Researchers, here we go. Researchers at IBM Google, and government-backed laboratories are racing to close the gap, but the clock is ticking. The United States National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, has begun approving quantum post-quantum algorithms, while most public blockchains still rely on encryption designed in the 1980s. Uh-oh. For now, it's a theoretical threat. But if the theory became reality, Bitcoin's defenses would crumble faster than the network could react. Now, what we have here, is HBAR Hedera is going to be so valuable. On Kalen Brown, HBAR is my highest amount of money I have. There's something called FIPS, F-I-P-S, FIPS 203. It's called the Federal Information Processing Standard. Now, this is very important. This is why, and again, my channel is fact-based. FIPS is intended as the primary standard for general encryption. The standard encryption, because we're going to find out here that Crystal's Kyber, which is what HBAR is all mixed up in this. Intended as the primary standard for general encryption. Among its advantages are comparatively small encryption keys that two parties can exchange easily, as well as a speed of operation. The standard is based on Crystal's Kyber algorithm. Now let's look that up. The Crystal's Kyber algorithm was developed by a collaborative effort between researchers. You got NXP Semiconductors and IBM. And you got CWI Amsterdam and other research institutions. And what we know is this whole crystals and all that, you got Algorand mixed up in that. Let me show you this. Here's this article right here about SEALSQ, and guess who's all mixed up in the crystals? Here's this article right here. It's showing a quantum computer. It's showing SEALSQ. This is a SEALSQ.com website. Let's talk about WiseKey, WiseSat. I'm telling you what, if you're into stocks, this is one to get. SEALSQ. It talks about in the, third paragraph down? To address these challenges, SEALSQ is adopting post-quantum cryptography algorithms like Crystal's Kyber, Crystal's Dilithium, Sphinx, and Falcon. And it's all NIST, National Institute for Standards and Technology, NIST approved. So they're utilizing this. let me get back into this article here. Then we have something called FIPS 204, intended as the primary standard for protecting digital signatures. The standard uses the crystals dilithium algorithm, which has been renamed ML-DSA, short for Modular Lattice-Based Digital Signature Algorithm. This is all HBAR. Let me show you the connection with HBAR. This is for brand new people. I want the new people to see all the connections here. So we're dealing with a quantum proof algorithm, which is what we got right here. We got SealsQ in the mix, and we have SealsQ partnering with Hedera right there. There's your article with that. Massive. Let me take a look. So all these are coming in together, all these technologies, and you're seeing right now, you can get HBAR crypto for like 16 cents right now a piece. You've got HBAR, which is helping Hedera and the United States coming up with quantum proof. I'm showing you right now, because one of these days, HBAR is not going to be 16 cents, it'll be like $500,000 a piece. We're talking about this right now. In the future, you're going to look back, you're going to watch this video, be like, fuck, I didn't get in on that. I mean, that's your choice. But everything I'm showing you, I'm showing articles. So you could look it all up yourself and be like, yeah, this shit's real. Well, why isn't it $500 or $1,000? Oh, it will be. It will be. When this thing takes off, remember, real world use case, we've got to have a quantum attack to scare the literal fuck out of people. Be like, oh, shit. That's what it takes. Some people, you have to scare the fuck out of them or threaten them to get them to wake up and make a decision. That's what will happen. I'm telling you, with SealsQ, with HBAR, a quantum attack is going to show you a real world use case real quick. Because all these crypto sites are going to go down. They're going to get shut down, except the people that are using HBAR, SealsQ, WiseSat, WiseKey. All those will work fine. The government, the defense departments and stuff, they'll all be running on SealsQ. They won't get attacked. I'm just letting you know what the future is. So when that quantum attack happens and SealsQ stock goes to like $1,000 a piece and you were buying it for $6, you'd be like, damn, man, that crypto Hulk dude already knew. It's common sense. This is not fucking science or magic. I mean, it's not magic. It's just I'm reading to you science. That's what they're showing. They're showing you what crypto and standards they're using with this Kyber and the crystal and all that. That's all HBAR shit with SealsQ and WiseSat and WiseKey. We're seeing it all right here. You have an opportunity now. Do you want to invest in the future or wait for it to happen? Be like, oh man, shit, I could have invested in that. Your choice. Hedera is a company. HBAR is the token. Well, very good. Now let's look at the Hedera Council. Here is the Hedera. Hedera is one of those cryptos companies where, and I'll use the term interchangeably. It doesn't matter. But Hedera is one of those cryptos that, man, look at who's a part of that crypto and creating it in their council. Look at this, Rot Shear. Explore, you click on the Explore Council membership button and you scroll down and then bam, it shows them all right here. Aberdeen, Arrow, Australian Payments Plus, Avery Dennison. Let's go over some names that I recognize. Chainlink is a part of the Hedera Council. Dell, Deutsche Telekom, Deutsch, LG, IBM, Google. Oh, just Google, not a big deal. Hitachi, Nomura, Tata Communications. That's all Ripple and shit in there. Swirlds. That's the Hedera Council's or Hedera's lab. These are the companies that make up this crypto company. Shinham Bank. Notice it's all of these global companies that make up HBAR. That's why I like it, because that shows me if you can get 30 global companies to work together, you've got to have a good project. Because imagine trying to have 30 people agree on some shit. That's tough. To have 30 different companies agreeing and working together, you've got to believe in that project. Or else, how do you... I mean, it's easy. If I were to start a business and I got 1 or 2 people working for me, it's pretty easy to control 1 or 2 people. But you got 30 corporations and you got to get everybody to agree and work together and try to... I mean, you got to have that has to be a good project to hold all those companies like glue together. Plus, when you get the United States government involved in it, and you're making microchips and selling them to the defense departments, and that's pretty good. When Hedera is a part of that, yes. We got 4 minutes left. I think that'll do it. Let me check really quick. So, yeah, what they're saying is this quantum computer could be waiting at any time to just zap. All you need with Bitcoin, here's the problem. Well, there's a lot of problems. One of the myriad, that's MYRIAD, the myriad of problems we have with Bitcoin, just one of them is a 51% attack. All you need to get is 51% of the computing power in the world to overdo a Bitcoin transaction and then start reversing those transactions. Oh, shit. You can do that with a quantum computer. It's all ready to go. Now, what's the difference with like Ripple? Well, with something like Ripple Ledger, you got validators. So you'd have to overdo the validators. You'd have to go find the different validators around the world and undo what they did. See, with Bitcoin, you have 1 point of attack. With Ripple, you probably got 1, and then plus all the validators. So I don't know how many they got. So you might have like 100 points of attack or whatever, you know? Maybe more. Maybe there's 200-300 validators. Now you got to go throughout the whole world and find who are these validators. That's going to take some work. It'd be much easier just to shut down a Bitcoin network and turn back the clock. But very interesting article. Shows a picture of a machine right here used by the Nazis during... Listen to this. Now this is... However, it would not be the first time world-class cryptography has been broken without public knowledge. Look at this little machine they show right here. Used by the Nazi Germany during World War II. It's called the Enigma cipher. It was considered unbreakable at the time, but crypto analysts led by Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park quietly cracked the Nazi. It's like a little machine on how you solve codes. The Allies kept the breakthrough a secret so that Germany would continue using the machine. When you think of a quantum computer, it's already been in control for months. So what this guy is saying is this. In World War II, they had a machine. The Germans were using a machine to make codes and try to solve codes. America had already figured out what they were doing, and we kept it quiet. Meanwhile, the Germans are thinking they're sending coded messages. They're not. There was a supercomputer. There was something else figuring it out. What the article tells us this. What if right now and this is what I believe, there's already a quantum computer out. And it's already broken in. Maybe it can get in and out without being noticed. Oh, shit. What if one day, now maybe some bad people have this computer. Who knows? What if the bad man, Crypto Hulk, the bad man, what if the bad man already has a quantum computer and they're ready to take out our banks, our stock markets? Maybe it's not the United States government. Maybe it's a nation out there that makes a quantum computer and shuts down our stock market, shuts down Bitcoin. Who knows? The person writing the article says theoretically it's possible. And that's why they bring up the German example. The Germans thought that, oh yeah, we got this encryption method. No one can know what we're doing. And somebody already did. And they didn't announce it. The United States just kept it all quiet. And we're watching the Germans do shit and knew exactly what the Germans were doing because they were watching because we had a more superior computer encryption. So for now, the article says, for now, quantum threats remain theoretical. Breaking Bitcoin's encryption holds strong, and computers capable of breaking it exist only on paper. So you never know, could already be ready right now. That's what I really feel. I feel that there's a threat out there. That's how we're gonna have a black swan. That's why I got the Caleb Brown fire blocks, because it's better than the other ones. If all the world's biggest banks are using fire blocks, I'm going to use that. I don't have all the answers. And when I do research, I tend to have more questions than answers. I'll find out, I found this out, but then now I got 10 more questions. What I try to do is research and show you. And sometimes you guys come up with some good stuff that's pretty amazing yourselves, and you share it with me, and then I share it with the group. But that is all that I have for this morning. So, let me see. Let me just click out of some of this. So, yeah, that's what we got going this morning. There's a lot of crypto adoption. I think what is being set up is there is a quantum computer, but we do know of a stock, SealsQ, WiseSat, WiseKey, HBAR is the crypto. We do know, and then they're partnered with Chainlink, Algorand. So we know of a crypto that is working with, which is software, which is working with hardware, which is SealsQ, that's able to stop quantum attacks. And our government, the United States and defense departments and stuff around the world are already utilizing this technology. I think they know. I think it's them who is going to allow. Maybe if our government doesn't attack us, they might just accidentally give plans to a quantum computer to some terror country, and then they'll get it and think, oh, look what we just found. And they'll go hack into and shut down our banks and shit. And then our government will come right back and whoop, start all up with a flip of the switch. That's when we all get rich. All the cryptos we've been talking about on this show with real world use case, I've been showing you all of them. Now, I don't know how many will be successful. All I can do is I can show you connections. I can't guarantee you success of any of these cryptos. It's beyond my control. I can show you this one's working with them. This one's got a government contract, this, that. You know what? I can't tell you who's going to be around tomorrow. I'm not the fortune teller. I'm an investigator, but I can't tell the future. So all these things, heck, for all I know, maybe SealsQ goes bankrupt tomorrow. I mean, I have no idea. All I can do is show you what they did in the past, what they're doing right now. But in the future, they do what they want, when they want, when you least expect it. That's how it is. You can't plan the shit. You got some of you guys like, well, I want to buy this crypto, and then when it goes up, I'm going to sell it, and then go put it into that. Do you really think you're going to call shots like that in the world? Shit's not going to happen. So that's why we invest all along the way, trying to make money a few times each week on this program, because I want to make some money. Well, if it takes another year, 2 years for us to get rich, at least I can look back and say, you know what? I was pulling in 2, 3, 4,000 a month on this channel, investing each week. At least I'm walking away with, $100,000, $200,000 over the next couple of years or something. If you're pulling in $2,000 a month, that's at a bare minimum. That's about 50 grand in 2 years, and that's at a bare minimum. Who knows what happens when the crypto starts taking off? The bets get bigger and the money starts getting bigger. But you got to learn the basics. Like some people like this, some people thought if you just join this channel and spend $500, all you have to do is wait for a text from me and you're going to make all this money. But then the people are complaining, oh, I'm being notified too late. I'm being notified too late. So then I switch it to where everybody's notified at the same time. Guess what? You're still not making money, are you? Yeah, that's right. So it wasn't the fact that you're getting notified late. It's the fact that you don't know what you're doing. That's why you don't make the money. And that's why you need to be calling me 2 to 3 times a week until you're making $500 a week. Because I'm going to examine what you're doing, because what you're doing is not right. Maybe you're putting in $100 on a trade. Well, that's not going to help you. You won't make any money doing that. But you start off in the beginning. If you can't make money off $50, you might as well just forget it. Like if you can't consistently put in $10. If you can't consistently walk away with, if you put in 10 and you walk away with $13, if you can't do that consistently, you can't make money at all, period. You're done. Because later that $10 turns into $1,000. Now you're pulling in $300 on average on every trade. That's an average. Some you'll make 700, 100%. But what I'm telling people, these new people, is when you invest in something, you start small. And if you can consistently pull 30%, if that's your goal, then after that, you don't need to go to $200 and then go to $300. You can just jump to higher amounts. Because again, if you can consistently turn $10 into 13 over and over and over, then now you can make 30% every time. That's your average. So then you get into bigger bets, $1,000. You dump $1,000 in 2 to 3 times a week. Now you're making $600 to $900 a week. That's like almost $3,600 a month. So we will go over that when you join the $500. We'll start with something small, $20. Now turn that shit into $24. And when you can consistently make, 30, 25, 30%, now you might be able to make higher. It just depends. I'm just saying. But when you can consistently make on average 25 to 30%, that's your number. Now we're going to try to work on that to boost it. But if we can, we can. And we're at 25 to 30. That's still good. If you're putting in 1,000, that means every trade you're making $250 in a minimum. And you do that 2 or 3 times a week. Now you're at 1,000 a week. That's 4,000 a month. So, anyhow, that's enough of that. I sure as hell I can just sit here and watch videos and not make any money every week. Fuck that. My name's Crypto Hulk. I'll see you in the next broadcast. More than likely tonight at 5:00 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to have a program. There's a lot of news, so I'm sure, and I'll look for a crypto. I think I got one that we can look into. I'll see y'all then.